basement neckbeard or normal human? We got to see. Google knows more about you than your nosy neighbor. If you got fired by AI, we might have some good news for you. And happy birthday, Chip. Happy birthday to you. Right? Hey, everyone. This is Jim Atria, Senior Live Online Lead Instructor with MyComputerCareer. Welcome back to the IT Blitz. Here's what's happening in the IT world. All right, before we get started, I'm on location in paradise. You wish you could be here, but you can't. But for now, nearly 70% of Americans play video games. The basement stereotype is dead, or we'll just say it's a little rumor adjacent. The ESA just released its 2026 gaming report, and the numbers are hard to ignore. 212 million Americans between the ages of 5 and 90 play video games at least an hour a week. That's up 7 million from last year. The average gamer is 37 years old. This is amazing to me because when I grew up video gaming, we were non-existent, man. We got our Ataris and our Apple III's. 39% are employed full-time and 35% have kids. More represented in both categories than the general U.S. population. 53% of men play. And here's the really cool part, 46% of women. And here's one nobody expected, but it kind of did. Boomer women outgained boomer men, 52% to 47%. Now who's always on their phones, huh? Watching, right? 63% of players say games deliver more entertainment value for the money and streaming services, music, books, and movies combined. I mean, you can't disagree with that. I can buy a $20 game and get 30 hours out of it. I'm not spending $20 at a movie theater and getting no 30 hours worth of it, right? Here's what this means for you. Gaming isn't a niche hobby anymore. It's the dominant entertainment platform in America. And the audience looks a lot like your coworkers, your customers, and your boss, and your news guy. That's me. Hi, nice to meet you. My name's Jim. I'm your news guy. I also play video games. For IT pros, that means gaming infrastructure, gaming security, and gaming hardware aren't just fun extras. They're mainstream IT. Whether you're supporting a help desk, managing endpoints, or building a career in cybersecurity, understanding how games work, how they're secured, and how they fail is relevant experience. Also, if 32% of 81 to 90-year-olds are gaming every week, your excuse for not learning the new technologies are officially gone. I love this, guys. Games are good for you, right? I was in there with the pearl clutchers. Oh, gamers are going to make you bad, but they actually don't. They're really good. Enjoy, guys. Enjoy. Coming from me to you, enjoy. All right. In next news, which isn't moving. Where's my thing? Why isn't it moving? Google's new AI agent now knows your dog's name and your kid's nap schedule. I love this, man. Just think, let this sink in for a little bit. A tech journalist just gave Google's new AI agent called Spark a simple job. Plan a family weekend in Hershey, Pennsylvania. He didn't give it too much to work with. Spark came back with a full itinerary, driving directions, okay, from his home address, right, which he never provided, but, you know, you do put that in Google so they know. Hotel options with pet fees for his dog, Frida, whose name he never mentioned. It knew his son gets into Hershey Park free because he's under 1, and that his 3-year-old needs a ticket, and that his 1:30 nap time needs to be adhered to. That's where it starts getting creepy. Creepy. That's where it starts getting creepy. It had the Saturday night concert from Ticketmaster confirmation in his email. It knew his wife doesn't eat onions. He never told it any of this. Google already had it. Nosy neighbor, Google? The author's takeaway was blunt. We're paying for these tools, and our emails, photos, and personal lives are feeding them. Here's what this means for you. This is where AI is headed. It's not a chatbot that answers questions. An agent already knows everything about you and acts on it. The trade-off is real. The more data you hand over, the more useful it gets. Google is winning that race because it's been collecting the data for decades, right? They said 20 years, but come on, right? Your users are going to start asking questions about this, and you should have some answers ready. What does your company do with employee data? What are you feeding those AI tools you're deploying? And what else? Right? It's one of those things. Google's doing it, Meta's doing it, Amazon's doing it, Microsoft's doing it, Apple's doing it, right? Be careful. Everything you put out there stays out there, right? Remember, folks, whatever goes on the web stays on the web. As a reminder, if you like what you're seeing here, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe. And if you really want, hit that sub notification bell to be notified of a new blitz, right? To be notified of a new blitz weekly. It helps with the algorithm. And as you can see, we got some likes. And Patty let me out of the cage. I'm out. I'm out. I'm in paradise. I got to go somewhere. So the more you keep doing it, the more she'll set me free. Help. Blink, blink, blink. I love this one. I like this one, guys. And we'll chalk this up to, we've been talking about this for a while. So let's chalk it up to there. Companies are rehiring the people they fired because of AI. A new term making the rounds in HR circles is called the AI boomerang. I don't know is that what boomerangs sound like? I think so, right? Companies that laid off workers because of AI was supposed to replace them are now quietly rehiring for those exact same roles. What they're sneakily doing is they're changing the role's name, but you're still doing the same job. We see you. We see you. According to research from staffing firm Robert Half, nearly a third of hiring managers say their organizations let someone go due to AI productivity gains, then turned around and rehired for that role. I'm just gonna make the Jim face, which is also like the Drew face. If you know Drew, you know. A separate Forrester report says 55% of employees regret their AI-related layoffs. Gartner predicts half of all companies that replace customer service or operations staff with AI will be forced to restaff those positions by next year. Why did it go sideways? Productivity gains were smaller than expected. Seriously. AI needed more human oversight than anyone planned for. That one's absolutely true. And it turns out institutional knowledge, judgment, accountabilities, and others are not features you can prompt in any way. Guys, AI is not there yet. It's just not. It's not where it needs to be. Don't believe the hype, believe the facts, and use it as the tool that it was designed for, right? Here's what this means for you. If you've been worried about AI taking your job, this is useful data. The roles hardest to replace are the ones built on experience, context, and the ability to own an outcome. That's not a chatbot. That's you, right? Remember that. And if you're managing a team, the lesson is just as clear. The question was never whether AI could do the task. It's whether you could do the job. Those aren't the same thing. It's the C-suites that are making these decisions, and these decisions are coming back to bite them, right? Be thankful. We're not there yet. Understand AI, deliver AI, and let's wait for that bubble to pop. All right, in the final news, happy birthday to the chip that started everything. I love this, guys. I remember this chip. I was a youngin', but I remember it, right? Not when it came out, but pretty close, right? So 40 years ago, no, Jim, no, 48 years ago today, Intel, well, not today. When you guys see this, it's not going to be today. It's going to be like next week because this is going to come out. We record this before the thing, so it's not today, but it was 48 years ago last week, right? So we'll just say that, right? 48 years ago last week, Intel introduced the 8086 microprocessor, and it was the world's first x86 chip. And the direct ancestors of all the processors, not all of them, direct ancestors of most of the processors sitting in your computer right now, right? Because we do have ARM chips. It's not the direct ancestor of ARM, but that doesn't matter, right? Here's the part nobody tells you. Intel built it as a stopgap. The real project, a more ambitious 32-bit chip, kept getting delayed. Kind of sounds familiar to modern Intel, doesn't it? So a team of 4 engineers knocked out the 8086 in 18 months. And this is the funny part. It ran between 5 and 10 megahertz. 5 and 10. And packed only 20 1,000 transistors and could address a whopping 1 megabyte of memory, right? That's minuscule. How far we have become, how far we have come in 49 years, right? That temporary fix went on to power the original IBM PC in 1981, which Time magazine called the machine of the year in 1982. The 8086 spawned the 286, the 386, the 486, the Pentium Pro. I'm reading this from my own memory, right? The Pentium 4, right? It goes on and on and on. And every single AMD and Intel processor that followed. So all those ones in there, even though we're on x64, we were on x86 before. Nearly 5 decades later, the x86 instruction set it defined is still the foundation of most personal computers. Violet. Come on, get up. Sorry, Patty. Right? I forgot where I was. The x86 instruction set it defined is still the foundation of most personal computers on the planet. Here's what this means for you. The desk technology running your help desk, your servers, your endpoints, traces a direct line back to a chip 4 engineers built in a year and a half because the real project was late. Most of the infrastructure holding the internet together was built on the same process. Good enough, fast enough, never quite replaced. Understanding where this stuff comes from is part of understanding why it works and the way it does. Also, next time someone tells you a deadline is impossible, remind them of the 8086. I mean, I wish I could. I wish we could go back to that simpler time of the 70s, but it's not there. That's it for the Blitz. If you have any comments or questions, please post them down below. Articles you'd like to share with us. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you maybe on location next week.